welcome to episode 4 of Mommy Fuel. My name is Kelly Lewis, and I'm a licensed professional counselor here in Texas.
And I'm Candace Wright. I'm a licensed professional counselor and certified life coach.
So in episode 3, we talked a little bit about expectations and managing those expectations. One of the things that influences the expectations we often put upon ourselves is something we call the comparison trap. What is the comparison trap?
So that is anytime we are comparing ourselves against other people. One of the things that I really notice about working with people is that we often compare up, but not necessarily down. And so what I mean by that is we compare ourselves against the people who have been more successful or have better grades or more have achieved certain accomplishments, or their kids are behaving better in public, whatever it is. But we're not necessarily comparing ourselves to the other end of the spectrum. So those people who haven't made the same success or achievements that we have, or who haven't reached their goals that they're trying to obtain. So one of those there is just trying to get like this balanced perspective of, hey, I may not be over here, but I'm also not over here. And so what is really my goal based on where I need to be and not where everyone else is?
And I think one of the culprits for this comparison trap, especially with this generation of moms, is social media. We live in a Pinterest age. I won't even say how many pins I have on my Pinterest boards, but I have a lot.
I don't.
I like to pin, but we live in this age where we see what everyone's doing. We constantly have those images and those pictures in our faces, and I think that drives a lot of comparing, and it drives a lot of, oh my goodness, look what they did, I want to be doing that, or they're on this awesome vacation, I want to be on an awesome vacation right now. And so how does that influence?
So I think that's true for all of social media. And what the research is showing is that there is an increase of depression and anxiety with social media. And so what we're doing is we're comparing ourselves to only the amount of information that other people want to share with us. So one of the ways I describe that is we're comparing just based on their outside presentation with our inside that's really messy. And so the problem is that everyone's inside is messy, everyone has their own stuff, and all the things that we have going on in our head are not perceived or projected onto the world. And so that comparison isn't accurate because you're only seeing what they want you to see.
Most people are not putting their messy houses and their kids throwing tantrums on the internet. Some people are.
Or the exploding poopy diaper that was all over the crib this morning was not a Facebook post, but it was real life.
Absolutely. We should see more of that so we can actually see reality and what's going on. I think it would help kind of that feeling of that, kind of feeling down when you start to compare up and you start to kind of think about what other people might have and you don't have, even if that's not based in reality. So what can people do to kind of combat this comparison trap?
One of the things there is just making the choice to make decisions for yourself. We don't need to live anyone else's life. If there is something that they have or that they're doing that you really want, then that needs to be about your goal and what you're going to do to get there, not about how someone else is living their life and making their choices.
One of the ways that I often will tell clients if they're kind of struggling with this too is to incorporate some gratitude work into their daily routine. So have a gratitude journal, or where you sit down and you think about the things that you have in your life that you're grateful for. And a lot of people, when they start to do that, they start to recognize that they have a lot of things to be grateful for, and it starts to make them feel a little bit better. Also, if social media is kind of influencing this, and when you get on there, you kind of feel negative about your own situation, there's unfollow buttons. Like you don't have to be on social media. You don't have to follow certain people on social media. Like you are in control of that, and you can cut that out of your life if it's causing some negativity there.
I think the other comparisons that I commonly see are other people reaching milestones, whether they've bought their house, or when they graduated from college, or when they got married, or when they had their first kid. And whatever those goals are, making those comparisons and believing that you should be in the same place that they are, but they're not living your life, and their outcomes don't have to be the same as yours. It really needs to be about what is in your best interest and what your goals are, not what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I know even with moms, a lot of times we compare like what our kids are doing. So-and-so walked, or so-and-so talked, or so-and-so got potty trained at 18 months. It doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
most of our kids are not going to go to kindergarten in diapers. Like, we're all going to get there, and it's everyone's unique journey, and it's not a race.
Yeah, comparing kids is a big thing. Like, whether it's developmental milestones or their academics or their sports, I mean, there's all kinds of areas there, and it can be really toxic in some of those mom relationships.
So it's a good opportunity to, again, check in with yourself and kind of pay attention to, do you start to make those little comparisons? Do you start to look around you and compare what's going on in your life, what's going on with your kids, what's going on with your family, and compare that to what's going on with other people? And if so, how does that make you feel? And if you feel negative, or you feel stressed out, or it makes you feel down about yourself, I think it's a good idea to kind of start to think about some ways to combat that and correct that.
It really does come back to you. I mean, you have the power and the control there to change the way that you are thinking about it and to limit the amount of social media influences that you have.
So thank you for joining us for episode 4. Please remember to share and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.